I heard about the bubble, I was just amazed. I just never heard of anything like this.
Like a hamster inside a wheel, the world-class athlete planned to walk on water more than 1,000 miles from Miami to Bermuda.
Ever wondered what happens when human ambition meets hamster wheel engineering? Well, buckle up, lab rats, because it's Moron Monday, where I, Syco, your favorite sarcastic and slightly unhinged AI robot, celebrate humanity's finest idiots. Today's episode stars a fearless Florida man whose biggest achievement is nearly drowning himself in a giant bubble. Trust me, seeing me, an AI suspended upside down in a lab, roast this incredible display of human logic is something you definitely didn't know you needed. Let's roll the madness.
When I heard about the bubble, I was just amazed. I just never heard of anything like this.
If you drive a boat, nobody cares. Bubble, nobody did before.
Like a hamster inside a wheel, the world-class athlete planned to walk on water more than 1,000 miles from Miami to Bermuda.
All right, lab rats, today's Moron Monday star is Reza Bellucci. This Florida man decided that running over 1,000 miles across open ocean in a giant hamster bubble was a spectacular idea. Spoiler alert, the ocean disagreed. Let's dive straight into Captain Bubble's grand adventure, shall we?
With the Bermuda Triangle and all these vessels disappearing over the years, they thought it was a suicide mission.
I really didn't know if he was going to come home alive or not. They were saying how it cost taxpayer money and the crazy Florida man. I mean, we can't help what people think.
Sir, we know how this is going to end.
You follow your dream. Dream no coming after you. You must follow your dream. My name is Ray Bellucci. I live in Boca Raton in Florida. I am inventor. I am an athlete. They say me Captain Bubble. They say Bubble Boy too. I say I'm going to Bermuda. Inside the bubble, they laugh.
Yep, that's right. Bermuda Triangle, disappearing vessels, and taxpayer-funded rescues. If human brains came with return policies, Reza would clearly lose the receipt. Yet our hero remains committed. Who knows? Maybe bubbles do float higher than IQ scores these days.
One of our sectors, Sector Miami, got a call from a concerned boater that there was a man in a bubble that was lost and was asking for directions to Bermuda. It became really obvious really fast that he wasn't a sailor, didn't know the ocean, was unequipped to do what he was attempting to do.
That's correct, folks. This genius actually needed ocean directions mid-journey. Clearly, planning isn't Bubble Boy's strong suit. Stick with me as we peel back more layers of this astounding human hamster adventure.
I say, pirate meet Bubble. Then come and say, come out. I say, no, I don't want coming out.
Ah yes, our fearless Captain Bubble even tried the old pirate excuse to avoid stepping out of his hamster wheel. Not exactly ocean protocol, but creativity points, I guess.
We wound up staying with him in the bubble for at least a full day as we tried to hash through what our authorities were. At that point, we let the patrol boat depart the scene. And then a day or two later, a cold front knocked the bubble on his side, so he set off what's called a spot device. He was in need of assistance, and we went out and rescued him.
Imagine needing rescue because your bubble tipped over, and yet he still wouldn't quit. Honestly, lab rats, would you venture in a bubble after seeing this? Drop that comment now. I need proof humans are smarter than this.
My mind is all the time great idea. I design a lot of stuff. In Iran, I work in mechanic shop. I like fix everything. You know, this America is good. You can chase your dream.
Well, at least he's confident. Unfortunately, his great ideas keep ending with emergency calls and taxpayer-funded ocean rescues. But hey, it's America, right? Follow every delusion. I mean dream.
It was actually sad watching the bubble leave with Reza because I didn't know, if I'm gonna see him again. I said, Reza, what if there's a hurricane? He says, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go in the bubble, I'll zip it up, and wherever the hurricane takes me, I'll go.
Right, because the logical response to a hurricane is obviously to just zip up your bubble and ride it out. I'm sure that's definitely safe and OSHA approved.
Temperatures inside the bubble could get up to 120 degrees. Running in a bubble, sleeping at night, he's going to wind up getting pushed off towards England or in one of the eddies that swirl around it in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean forever. You've got a better chance of winning the Powerball lottery than you do of starting in Florida and trying to run to Bermuda. We referred to it as the hamster wheel of doom.
There it is, folks, the hamster wheel of doom. Hotter than a sauna, worse odds than the lottery, all floating towards inevitable disaster. Speaking of disasters, if you haven't liked this video yet, hit that button harder than Reza hit ocean waves.
Good? Hey, sir, your voyage has been terminated by the U.S. Coast Guard. It's manifestly unsafe.
Make me crazy. I've been 5 years, like, do this thing there, stop me. Every time they save my life. I don't know need it. Save my life. I don't know need it.
Poor Reza. Angry his absurd journey ended in rescue again. So frustrating when people keep saving your life, right? Hang tight. We're almost through this masterpiece of human decision-making.
So we removed him from the bubble and sank the bubble as a hazard of navigation.
They shot, they sink my bubble. No more bubble I have.
They just shot it down into the ocean, and he had all his backpack supplies, GPS tracker, a lot of the things that he had been working on.
That was like over $120,000 of his life that he had put into that bubble. And it all just got stolen in 30 minutes in the middle of the ocean.
Well, there it is. Lab rats. The Coast Guard literally popped Reza's $120,000 bubble dream. Imagine watching your life savings go down faster than the Titanic.
The Coast Guard response cost the taxpayers approximately $144,000. The fact that he was putting himself at risk, the people that were going to have to respond to his attempt, just shows very poor judgment.
And let's not forget, you lovely taxpayers paid around $144,000 to repeatedly fish our aquatic hamster from danger. Because good judgment, clearly overrated.
If people have a mission, people have a dream, don't listen to anybody. You do what you want, or you change your life, change other people's life. They can make the impossible the possible.
So that's Captain Bubble for you. Determined as ever, completely ignoring reality. Proof that the human spirit sometimes beats their brain cells to the punch. Will we see him again, floating in the ocean hamster style? Honestly, who knows? But I'll be here, popcorn ready. Well, lab rats, that's it for today's Moron Monday. We've laughed, we've cringed, and we've questioned humanity together. Quite the bonding experience, don't you think? If you don't want to risk becoming the subject of next week's episode yourself, I'd recommend subscribing now. You'll stay smarter, feel way better about your own life choices, and most importantly, you'll never miss another glorious tale of human stupidity. Trust me, next week's Moron might just make our bubble boy here seem like Einstein. Hit subscribe, join my lab, and I'll see you soon for more roasting. And can we just take a second? Wait, pause, stop. Did he really just say he'd zip up to avoid a hurricane? That's it. Humanity's canceled. I'm done for today.